What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Rabbit and Red Reviews. I'm Eric, and today we are going to take a look at the Glenmorangie 18-year-old single malt Scotch. Happy 2019 to everybody. So let's get right into this. So Glenmorangie is actually one of the most popular distilleries in Scotland. For many years, their original core expression, just the Glenmorangie 10, was the most consumed whiskey single malt in Scotland. I think it's still in that like top 5 range. And so Glenmorangie, actually being a Highland malt, they have a ton of different unique expressions within their range. There's really a lot to explore. Additionally, they are well known to having the tallest stills in Scotland. So basically meaning that they quote unquote have the cleanest spirits. So as opposed to a shorter still where you're going to get a lot more of that like heavy, robust flavors, this you're going to get a really clean expression with much more subtlety. This 18-year-old Glenmorangie, this is take a look at the bottle again here. It does not indicate anything about natural color or about chill filtration. So I think, unfortunately, we have to assume that there's some colorant added to this, as well as some chill filtration. This is bottled at 43% ABV, and it actually comes in this rather large box. Not a whole lot about the malt itself written on it, but you'll find this on a shelf. In a box similar to this, they also have an older box that had a lighter color, but you may still see one of those around as well. So a little bit more about what it says here on the bottle itself. It does indicate that it's quote unquote extremely rare. I'm not exactly sure what they are suggesting by that, as this is a core expression from Glenmorangie and is widely available. So probably just a little bit of marketing. So I wouldn't read too much into that. So it says, specially aged rare malt Scotch whiskey, matured in oak casks, a malt of distinction with a robust bouquet of well-rounded flavor. Okay, so that's about all you're going to get in terms of info on the Glenmorangie itself, but I will say that the bottle, really, really nice looking bottle. They have quite an elegant design to their bottles. I personally find it rather pleasing to look at. So with this being an 18-year-old Scotch, I didn't want to just pour it right into the glass and start nosing and tasting right away. As a general rule with older Scotch, oxidization occurring in the glass is actually even more important than it is with something younger. Because this has been, sitting in a cask for so long, there's a lot more complexity and subtlety in an older Scotch than there is necessarily in a younger. And so a bit of oxidization in the glass will actually go a long way. So I have poured this out already, and I've let this sit for about 15 minutes or so. As a general rule, they like to say, you let it sit for about a minute in the glass for each year that it's been in the barrel or the cask. So you can take a peek at this color real quick. As I mentioned, this is likely colored. They have probably added some E150A, but tough to say how much. So the color's not super significant, but we'll get right into the nose, palate, and finish review of this as well. Chat a little bit about the value, and we'll give it a final score. So right away on the nose, definitely picking up some fruit, citrus, orange. It's definitely orange. There's a bit of a red apple as well. It's all very subtle and muted. So like kind of what I was talking about with Glenmorangie, having these tall stills, their stuff is always going to be, nothing's going to be punching you in the face necessarily in terms of really sharp flavors. Everything's going to be kind of subtle and well balanced. And so far that's what I'm getting off of this in terms of the sweetness. Those fruits are sitting up. Also getting a bit of vanilla. Definitely some vanilla in this. Brown sugar. So this is aged in both ex-bourbon and ex-oloroso. So I absolutely assume that, we're definitely getting some of that the bourbon flavoring in this, or the influence of the bourbon cask. It does have a really nice creaminess to it. It's really, really actually just very, very pleasing. Nothing too, nothing really coming out and grabbing you, but everything does strike me as rather well balanced. So right away on the palate, wow, feel a little bit hot. Surprising, for only at 43%, there's actually a little bit hot, but there's a creaminess that's just coming through really nicely here. Strawberry, orange, that kind of orange citrus, as I mentioned on the nose, is there. It's really kind of just all subtle. So it's light on the strawberry, light on the orange. There's some light kind of baking spices. Really decent viscosity. It's like a medium viscosity. It's pretty good. It's coats the entire mouth. As it develops, those flavors are still kind of sticking around. As I did mention, it is a little bit hot, so a little bit of alcohol in this, but wow. Just all in all, very relaxed, very, very nice. Going into the finish now, it's a long finish. It's quite a long finish. I'm noticing still that orange, which is just carried through from the nose all the way. Still here, there's almost a little bit of a hint of almost like a white chocolate, maybe like a light, like almost like a espresso bean note mixing in there as well. Really, really good. Yeah. I'm going to add just a little bit of water and see what else may happen to this. As I mentioned, it's only 43% ABV. I'm not going to add too much. We don't want to drown it. This is quite a delicate malt, and so I think too much water could really actually take away from the experience. So on the nose now, some of those spices are kicked up a notch. Nutmeg, big time. So maybe like a hint of lemon. But the orange still quite is there, and it's not overpowering like that. I think I got to stress that despite having this kind of orange taste through it, I mean it is not overly sweetened. It's very subtle. It's complementary. It's just blended in very nice. So that marriage in that 18-year-old cask and was sitting there together with the Oloroso and the bourbon is just playing off each other really, really well. So on the palate, the water definitely did kind of tone things down a bit. So lost a bit of that that full flavor, that creaminess. It's kind of given way a little bit to a little bit thinner. Yeah, you're not quite picking up as much of that, that fullness that you got without the water. So I almost think this one might actually do better without water. Yeah, same in the finish. Everything is just kind of dialed back a notch or two with the addition of water. So all in all, I really, really like this malt. As far as the value goes, you can get a bottle of the Glenmorangie 18 anywhere from about $90 to $100 in the US market. That's actually a really, really great price for an 18-year-old Scotch these days. As Scotch has become more and more popular, the price of some 18-year-olds from many distilleries is much further north of $120 even. So this is an excellent value. Give me this all day at $90 to even $100. So all in all, this is a stunner for the value. It's not the most complex 18-year-old whiskey I've ever had, but if you're looking for a pleasant dram, relaxed pour, without too much challenge, yet there's plenty of reward. I mean, really look no further than this Glenmorangie 18. This is a good one. I'm going to put this at 4 out of 5. So on my scale, that is a highly recommend buying the bottle. All right, y'all. Thanks so much. I'm going to sit back and sip the rest of this glass, and we'll catch you next time here on Rabbit and Red Reviews. Sláinte.